Galera, os cortes do SEEEL estão saindo agora, o programa vai ser legendado e os cortes também vão ser legendados, mas esses aqui a gente vai soltar 100% em inglês pra vocês acompanharem logo, mas muito em breve vai ter legenda tanto aqui nos cortes quanto no programa na íntegra, beleza? Curte aí. So you talk about this video you make. I don't watch all the video, just some cuts of your video, but I see the community are very mad about this video. They call you are a bad loser. You're making excuses for the losing. How you react to that?
Guys, it's common sense. If a person loses and they speak about the game, it's no matter what you say, other than they were just better, they played really good, congratulations, people are going to say shit.
Yeah.
Right?
I hate that.
So, no, I don't hate that at all. I think it's completely fine. But what is the point of my YouTube channel? Why did I come to Brazil? It's to elevate the region and to do better. It's to educate people. I make educational content. And the truth is, since I've came here, I said and taught and did a lot of things to the point where my content has gone viral multiple times. For example, I think my video with Titan has 225,000 plus views since I got to Brazil. I I increased my social media following, I think, 800%. It's up to them whether or not they want to watch the content. The truth is, I lost. Our team lost. And Pain were the better team. Right? Yeah. But there are objective truths within the game that we can learn from and that we can talk about. I think that, for example, the way that we need to think about the game, the way that you need to break down drafts, these are all little things that impact the strength of a region. I think, for example, like the difference in my view compared to other people is that for me, improvement starts from the common people. That's my belief. Most people think improvement starts from the pro level. I don't believe that at all. I think that it actually starts from the regular person. And why? Well, in China and Korea, they have a very, very prevalent esports community. Yeah. Esports is a very, very big thing in these countries. And playing games is a very big part of their community. Yeah. So content creators create the best content around the world to educate viewers on how the game is played. And the average player base is just much better. So the way that you improve at League of Legends is obviously there's learning and studying, but if there's someone better than you, you try to think about how to beat them. That's how the game has always evolved. That's how chess evolved. That's how football evolved. People think about how to play better than the other team, try to beat a style, right? The style of football that you saw in the 1990s is much slower paced. In 2000s, even when Brazil won the World Cup, 2002 is much slower than the game possession football that they play now. Much more aggressive, much more faster nowadays, right? It's the same in League of Legends. For me, if you have like 1 million Emerald players, right? So you have, I think, 1.6 million ranked players in 2023. That's my latest statistic that I remember, 1.5 to 1.6. Out of them, if you have 1 million to 1.5 million regular players that are all playing at a higher level, that are getting educated, and they're climbing a little bit by little bit, then the top 1%, the top 0.1% is going to be much, much better, significantly better. The quality of the solo queue will be better. The players will be better. And so I put a lot of emphasis on educating the regular people. I have always done so. I invest a significant amount of money into my company to educate the regular people. And I've given away hundreds of codes worth tens of thousands of reais to people for free. For free. For Brazilians, I have been giving them 80% off. 80% off. And I think the last month and a half, I gave over 250 codes for free to help people, to help the community, to improve. And so it's a matter of this. You either want to go to my channel, hear what I have to say, and talk about things in a logical manner, or you call me a bad loser. That's up to you. And personally, I consider myself a coach and a businessman. I'm not a content creator. So go ahead.
No, in part, I think this happens because here in Brazil, and it's not all the community thinks like that, but here in Brazil, we have great focus in entertainment content. When someone makes some educational content like you, Joko, I make some educational content, the people don't see this content has a real deal, has a great thing. Not all, but some part of it. Because, as you say, no matter what you explain, no matter what you say, some part of the community will say that, will see that, and they'll say something bad about what you're doing. They make some jokes. They will put all your perspective in the meme way, in the joke way.
Yeah.
So this happens in a lot of cases here in Brazil. So to educate, to inform, to improve the regular players here in Brazil, you need to break a lot of barriers before you go to your goal.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. And I'm aware of this. I'm completely aware of this. I think the best way to explain this situation for me is the majority of the people that were calling me a bad loser or etc. was Pain fans.
It's normal.
That's the truth.
That's normal.
That's the truth. You're not going to tell me these guys were from Loud or something. They don't care. And so it's more passion driven. And then there were some VKS people. They can think that the way they will want, but it needs to be objective and subjective. There needs to be a difference between objective analysis and subjective analysis, right? And I think that my review was wholly objective. I think there was some fair criticism. I think that the only one that I found actually good was Takeshi. Takeshi commented that he said he saw on the first draft they had Ezreal, Smolder, and we didn't have real lockdown. We had Leona and Lilia, so we didn't have a way to like really lock them down inside the game. And that for me is like very fair criticism. I think that is definitely a problem. And I do think that if we were playing versus like a Gen G where a Smolder would get executed at 19 minutes, then this is a real threat, right? But if you're playing a game with no mid pressure, and I do want to talk about Pain a little bit going into the Worlds, and hopefully they watch this as well, then it sways all the matchups and they'll be playing from behind, right? So a big part of our identity was like trying to find winning lanes in the early game and trying to find priority and pressure, because Pain is not a team historically that have played really, really well in mid-late game. That's not they lost to Loud 4 times because of this.
They great point at the early game. Their game are very oppressive.
And every game they got ahead in the first game when they shouldn't. It's impossible, but they shouldn't, because we late invaded, we made the mistakes, and that is objectively true. So if Corky pushes, so the draft was they had the Ezreal and Smolder, and we had Jin, but we had Corky and Lilia versus Sejuani Smolder. They have no 2v2 in mid jungle. So if we permanently get pushed and Lilia is first to move, then we'll hold river the entire game and Ezreal can't push. So Titan will be stuck under tower if he plays, It's like this. So it's also drafting to the team and drafting to the region and the strengths of each team. If you play versus Loud, you need to draft a completely different game. And I think people realize this. So that's what I have to say. I definitely am here to try break that barrier, but I don't really care. I don't know how to say this more bluntly about community perception or my image that much. What I care about is doing what I think is the right thing to do.
Absolutely.
Generating value for people. That's always how I've lived. I work for 3 things. I work for God, my family, and my team. Only they can judge me. And if they judge me, that's okay. That's fine. If I did wrong, that's okay. And I will try to do good and generate content. But if you don't want to absorb that content and learn, then that's fine by me as well. Or perhaps, maybe I'm wrong about the whole thing. It can happen. And maybe I just don't have enough game knowledge. And that's my mistake. I think that's also a fair assessment too.
I see in some videos and some lives, I don't see you doing that in your video, but I see a lot of people talking about that. You say you're winning all your games, but your players lose their games. So you win the draft and your players lose the game. You say something like that because that kind of speech, I see a lot of people and a lot of streamers saying something like, so SEEEL is put away the blame of him.
I mean, okay, let me put it this way. Do you think the community thinks I had a successful year?
Yeah, you have a successful
year. Do you think that let's just say that Cade didn't make it to Southern Conference. Let me ask a community and you a question. Do you think I'd struggle to find a team? This is not.
No.
This is not trying to be like cocky. I'm just asking
Yeah.
objectively. Would I struggle to find a team?
No.
Of course not.
Of course not. Yeah.
Of course not. So what am I making excuses for? By that logic,
I'm just asking.
no. I'm asking the question. It's a rhetorical
Yeah.
question, guys. What am I making the excuses for? Joko, what am I making the excuses for?
Hello, everyone.
Good night, Tiago Meia.
Yeah.
You're
You
fine?
feeling better?
I am better now.
You
I'm
look
having some rough days, you know.
Yeah, I heard.
I'm
Welcome.
having some rough days, but I'm better.
Yeah. So what we were actually talking about was
I was listening.
you were listening.
Yeah.
Okay. The truth is, I don't have to worry about my job. I don't have to make excuses. And let me tell you my drafting style. If my player says to me in a game 5 in front of 13,000 people, he says, "Give me X champion," I'm gonna give him the champ.
Yeah, I
If
agree
he
with
wants
that.
to, if he wants to, in a game 5, game 4, and they say, "Give me this champ, I'll carry," I'll give them the champ.
Yeah.
So who's really drafting? We're drafting together. I'm just saying objectively, you either see or you don't. You either agree or you don't, and that's fine. But to say that I'm making excuses, I think is a little bit far-fetched. I don't think I need to pay attention to that too much.
You don't say something like that. you win your drafts and the
No,
players lose the game. Because I don't see the video.
No, that's exactly what I said.
You say that?
Yeah, but I think that the draft was good for us, and I think that we played bad. But playing bad is my responsibility also,
Yeah.
and drafting good is also the player's responsibility. You do things together in my team, and people know that. So it's a shared collective responsibility. In the end, it's not one guy that loses and one guy that wins.
Absolutely,
we
yeah.
all lose and win, right? So that's the case. And here's the other thing. So let's just say I lose a draft and my players win the game for me, right? And in the finals, I lose a draft and the players win the game for me. My hypothesis is that everyone in Brazil would call me a draft king right now.
Absolutely, yeah, because they
Absolutely.
don't see the draft
They will
effect.
say-
They see
yeah.
the winning or losing
Yeah,
effect.
exactly. So that's my point. That's it. And that's all I have to really say on this matter.
Want to say something about that, Thiago Meias?
I have the inside info because I was there.
Yeah.
So I think about. I said that on. I don't know if I posted that video already, but I reacted to that, and people asked to react to that. So it was very strange because I was also there, so I'm reacting something that I know.
Yeah.
I think that most of the drafts were comfortable. The only one that was strange, I think, was the Olaf one. But even though
The
it
last
was,
one. The last one was.
No. The last
The
one
second
was
one.
actually fine. Yeah, the second
second
one.
one?
The second
Yeah.
game was the draft I lost,
Yeah,
actually.
that was strange.
But I said that too, no?
I think you said that.
In the video, I actually said I think I
think you
lost
said-
game 2 draft.
I think it was not a like total loss, but it was harder
Oh,
because
yeah?
of
Yeah.
because of Olaf. But we had like good early game. I think it was the Victor one, right? Yeah.
No.
The Victor got strong, so we should won.
The disgusting thing about that game was if we won that game, that was 100% the players smurfing.
Yeah.
The second game, we should have lost. The draft was so fucking, in
So-
my opinion, so fucking bad.
Draft in Brazil is a
Don't
strange
remember.
topic because
I say that. He said it. If we have a good draft
I
here in Brazil.
said this in video though. I said this in my video too. I said the second draft is so fucking bad. And people don't remember, okay, the first draft was good for us. And they're like, oh my God, this guy's making excuses.
it's because a lot of things doesn't work here in Brazil. For example, you guys saw today. I don't know if you guys said about that because I was getting medicated at the beginning. But look at words. Look at PSG. Look at the vein thing. Like this is something that Brazilians are not used to be played against.
Akali in the mid.
Yeah,
We
Kali
don't
too.
used to play against Akali.
Even
here in
though
Brazil.
Kise asked for that, the entire split against Yone, he knew about that, but we are not that used. So draft in Brazil is a strange topic.
Yeah.
I think that teams go for comfort above everything else because of how the region works. And I don't think the draft was actually a problem. The only one that I actually advise you, I didn't say that on the video I'm saying now. The only one that was strange was the last one, but not because the end result was good. But I think that the way you guys, because I heard you guys talking, you know, I think the way it was structured could be better. Just
The
that.
game 4 draft.
Yeah.
I agree. It was like, guys, they can get Corky Lilia. Are we okay with that? I think I prefer Corky in Italy. And then we locked in his ear 2 seconds in.
Yeah. It was a
for
bit
sure,
messy, but
for
this is
sure.
something that the public couldn't
Doesn't
know, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the rest, I think it was fine. I think that finals had a lot of emotions going on.
Yeah.
I saw playing today. It was much better than finals. And teams doesn't change like in 2 weeks. This doesn't work like that. So there was a lot of emotions going on for both teams. And I think that draft was like not one of the main issues.
Absolutely,
in my opinion.
Yeah, I think the problem was the gameplay, and not. And I need to understand why the gameplay are so bad. That really is because it's so bad in the finals. What do you think happens to you guys play so above your gameplay level? Because I feeling before the game starts, before the final day, the things in BH are not the same as here in São Paulo. The team, you are very sick too, so the team is not in the same vibe. You see something different in that final before it starts.
No, we had a really great team atmosphere until the finals. Like until the day of the finals, we were really, really, really fine.
Wow.
But then the pressure got to us a little bit, I think, right?
The day.
Yeah, for sure, on the day. But the before that was really, really good. Despite me being sick, it was completely fine. Everyone was really happy to see the city. Prods was in his hometown.
Yeah.
You know, it's just a matter of like 4 of the 5 players didn't have enough experience. And Robbo said the same thing to me. Robbo said all the players that know the game thought the game 1 draft was like really good. Game 2, not so much. Game 3, 4 playable. Game 3, good for us. And if we were more experienced, we probably would have won, but we weren't. And the fact is, Pain beat us, so that's what matters, right? That's there's nothing really more to be had about this conversation, in my opinion, because like Pain is at Worlds. Pain was a better team, and if you see their game now, it's really different from how they were playing.
Yes,
Completely. It's another team, another game, another league.
I mean, I also got on a call, and people don't know this, but I also got on a call with Titan, and I said, I think this is the way that you guys were playing objectives the whole year. I showed them like 10 examples, and I said, if you play like this for PSG, the game's over in 15 minutes. And they played good today. Like it's a matter of this, right? It's like, okay, we want Brazil to be better. So why is the gameplay bad? In my opinion, it's game knowledge. Like Cade right now played maybe 110 topics out of 360 that I have in my playbook, in my systems. 30%. 30%. There's so many things that we just don't do and we're just not aware of. Like, we don't play on turns really well, especially around team fights, spacing. Like, look, people need to see the game where, I think it was game 1 on the Herald, on the grub timer, where we caught Rakan engaging onto us.
Yeah,
it was
game
a 4v5.
And look at the way that.
And look at the way that, yeah, I remember.
Yeah, Rakan goes in,
Leona
stuns him.
I watched finals like 50,000 times, right?
Yeah.
And by the way, when the community was like mad at me and stuff, I didn't just ignore it. I actually sat there and I thought, like, did I actually analyze the situation correctly? I watched it. So I remember very clearly. Look at the way Pain played against us in the team fight. They're miles and miles ahead. Miles ahead of us in the way that they play team fight. Like, they played 4v5, all flashes. They know they can play 2 turns. They wait for us to go into bad position. They just fight 4v5 and they beat us. But what happened today versus PSG? So this is the gap, right? PSG, the game is over. They're up 7k gold. Maple makes a crucial mistake, gets caught on bot wave. Right? This is game 4.
Game 3.
And Maple gets 1 shot. It's 4v5. There's soul up. If they get this soul, they probably win the game. They can stall and win the game. PSG just win 4v5. The same thing. There's just so many little details that are missing inside Brazilian game, and people don't realize. And for me, something that I truly believe from the bottom of my heart is that nationalism doesn't believe in competition. Doesn't belong in competition. Nationalism. I don't think that people should take pride in their country above getting better. That's what I mean. Because I think people defend Brazilian play a lot because of emotion. And they also criticize Brazilian play a lot because of emotion. Right? So for example,
I don't see anything defends the Brazilian game play.
A lot. Brazilian players.
In the worlds?
Not in worlds, but in general, even locally.
And
right?
locally, okay.
Yeah, so when I criticize a play, most of the time they listen to me because they see my name tag. That's the truth, right? But if a regular coach says, even if they're 100% right, they'll be like, what the fuck are you saying, you know?
Yeah.
Like, for me, gameplay and competition needs to be objective. There's too much emotion in the equation. You're either good or you're bad, guys. You know? And so when I actually criticize a lot of the gameplay, they say, oh, but that being said, take a gap from Robbo. That's all they say, you know?
Yeah.
But it's like, okay, guys, like, do you want to get better or not? Is this a joke? Because I will work anywhere around the world. I just happen to be in Brazil. And when I'm in Brazil and I'm here, I'm going to give 210% to make sure that we're the best team and the region evolves.
It's about something is something in the way that I speak about. I talk about you in this culture of entertainment here in Brazil.
No, but fuck that. It's the fucking mission. As a coach, it's a mission, right? I don't give two. Let me tell you something. I can farm so many views in Brazil so easily.
Yeah.
Do you know if I go to the market right now and I say Gringo tries 5 foods from Brazil, right? And I do the culture and a food tour, you know, I would get like 200,000-300,000 views on each video, every video, and I would grow my channel 10 times faster.
Yeah. With all the information we have because we work inside in the backstage, we can make a lot of explosion podcasts here. We choose to do not that.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, but I think a lot of the people do, and a lot of the people are drawn by these entertainers, right? And then the narrative is built by these entertainers, and so it continues. So I'm here to stop it because I don't care. And I think people at this point, I think the finals reaction was so negative because people trusted my name. When people saw SEEL, they think that they would see something objective, and they felt they didn't. That's why they felt like more betrayed, you know? But I'm just being the same.
But I think that people talked about the wrong points. I don't blame them because they see what they see at home.
Yeah.
But for example, if you look at both tournaments, the first split, second split, and if you really know how things happen in the background, especially stress related, being at finals and like reaching finals was actually super super nice for everything that happened because it was super stressful. And like I think that pain was stressed too from that year, but people don't see behind the scenes. So literally everyone was super pushed to the limit because we knew that if you need to catch someone that's like 3 years on the making, we need to work more, we need to be better. So I think that kind of thing counts, you know. To reach someone that was already like running, you need to run much faster and get stressed. I think these are the important things. But yeah, about your name, I think that people are like narrow on that, like just but this is actually not what matters. For you to be here is something that how many coaches do you think that would explain a defeat? This doesn't exist.
It's the first time.
Really?
It's the first time. Yes,
It doesn't exist in Brazil.
It's the first time a losing coach of a final come to the podcast. We make all years, all splits.
We have invited literally
champion
everyone.
podcast. All the champions come here, but the losing never came.
Guys, let me put it this way. If I cared about what people think, and I cared about this win or loss, and I wanted to make excuses, look at my hair.
Yeah, you have hair.
Now I have hair. Look at my hair. Like, I don't care, guys. It's the mission. And we're all a part of this mission or we're not. That's how I see it. You're all a part of the solution or we're not. For me, I would rather always be a part of the solution. I'd always rather be a part of the guy that pushes and talks about the game and pushes the region to be better. And the truth is, the finals was probably one of the worst performances in CBLOL history in the last 4 years.
Yeah, it was bad.
I think Loud 2022 was miles above the finals. 2023 also. 2022 and 2023 also.
Yeah.
Right? Loud was a much more formidable team than what we saw in Pain versus VKS. But what I saw today from Pain versus PSG, that was something else. I was very impressed. I think their draft is into though. But I'll talk about that later.
The game 2 and game 3, yeah.